shenanigans, I decided to do one more live for this early afternoon. Thanks for joining me. I want to bring you an update to a story I brought you pertaining to a mass shooting that took place in Indianapolis, Indiana. Uh, this is the said information. WRTV ABC Indianapolis is the source for the said information. Tragedy on Adams Street. What we know about the mass shooting that left 6 dead. Yes, I'm jumping back on for just a little while. A 17-year-old boy allegedly upset his father is accused of opening fire inside his home and killing 6 people early Sunday morning. Information obtained by WRTV investigates reveals that the teen involved in the shooting had allegedly gotten in trouble for leaving his home without permission. The details leading up to the shooting are still being investigated, but the incident is believed to have escalated to the violent attack that now under investigation by the Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department. Details shared with WRTV investigators suggest that the teen's father reportedly warned him he was going to get in trouble before the teen opened fire on multiple members of his family, including his parents, siblings, and a pregnant woman who was also inside the home at the time. The shooting began upstairs and spilled downstairs where the teen suspect fled from the home. A teenage brother who survived the shooting was able to run to a nearby home where he asked a neighbor to call for help. Police found the victim suffering from gunshot wounds and rushed him to a nearby hospital in critical condition. The surviving teen pointed police to the shooting where they located all 5 bodies. The pregnant woman was rushed to Eskenazi Hospital where she and her unborn child were both pronounced dead. The victims killed in the shooting have been identified by Marion County Coroner as Rita Childs, 13, Elijah Childs, 18, Kezzy and Raymond Childs, Jr., both 42 years of age, Kiara Hawkins, 19, and the unborn child of Kiara identified only as baby boy Hawkins. It is unclear how the pregnant woman was related to the family at this time. WRTV investigates says the 17-year-old suspect was arrested early Monday morning on charges of murder and attempted murder. The Marion County Prosecutor's Office has not filed formal charges at this time, and it is unclear what charges the teen will face. The Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department spokesperson says they are not looking for any other suspects at this time. And they have a said picture in this article. This house is on Adams Street, and it's just a quaint little house that has looked like a bottom level garage. It's just a quaint little house. Oh, Lordy. Indianapolis area ministers also participated in a Zoom call on Monday to discuss their role in addressing the spike in violence in the city. Well, I'm hoping today that some of the groups who have not always worked together with each other, that we can now find common ground and find areas that we can work together for the good of Indianapolis and not wait on our political leadership to give us the marching orders. The Reverend Charles Harrison of the Barnes United Methodist Church said, we have to step forward now and do our part. I think we can make an impact if we do it together. There is no one solution, no one silver bullet that's going to help reduce this violence. It's going to take all of us working together. Oh, Lord have mercy. This said information is by WRTV ABC News. I got 9 in the room, 4 thumbs up. Thanks for joining me. No super chats, please. I'm not going to stay on very long. I just decided to go ahead and do it live and just be done with it. Thank you all for joining me. So the older brother, 17, did this. He killed his family in his home, and the 19-year-old female, they're now saying, is not a sibling of the 42-year-old's husband and wife. So now we have to decide who she is and what her relation is to the other victims in the house. She was also pregnant with a child, the 19-year-old lady, and she is now, alongside these other victims, deceased. This is absolutely insane. People, early Sunday morning. Lord have mercy. Oh, excuse me. Already buffering. You should know I can't get on. Okay. That's my set information coming out of Indianapolis. If you need verification for the storyline, please log on to WRTV. So this is insane to me. Uh, Mad because the father didn't want him to go out. Obviously, he'd been going out, leaving, I guess. Wanted to defy his parents. So he decided to say, well, okay. The father says, well, you're going to get in trouble. I don't know what trouble meant. So he decided to say, okay, I'm going to get in trouble. Okay, so I'm going to shoot everybody in this damn house. I'm going to shoot everybody in this house. Kill everybody in this house because your father doesn't want you to leave. So that makes me wonder, was he just a combative child, never wanted to listen, pay attention, honorary? You know, what is the situation? Hello, baby. Thank you so much. Sorry. What in God's name is wrong? 16 in the chat. Thanks for joining me. Try not to keep you all long. This is terrible. This is horrific and terrible news of a 17-year-old, almost an adult, gunning down an entire family and another person who was visiting, the 19-year-old Miss Hawkins. They had not revealed what her relation is to the family, the decedents, but nonetheless, she had a life. She also had a child inside her tummy who is now deceased alongside his mommy. So here you are visiting these people and you get killed. Hi, Cynthia. How you doing? You get killed because somebody don't want to listen to the rules of the house. Excuse me. Yeah, I came back quick. I know. I just would decide to go ahead and do the live, baby. I just decided to do it, but pray I can hold this device will hold up. But nonetheless, this is horrific. Killing your family because your parent don't want you to leave the house. This is stupid to me, crazy. Dang, I mean, what is it? There is no rest for the weary. I just don't understand none of this. This is just so baffling to me. Really sad how you can try so hard to raise your children righteously, and sometimes it just doesn't take, and children act out in horrific manners. I hate hearing stories about this. Yes, this is a very horrific story. This is baffling. Excuse me. This is insane to me. There are no words. It's what I keep telling you. Just as quick as I log off, there's another story. As quick as I lie my head down, there's another story. Somebody has left here. Excuse me. Somebody is no longer living. Someone is fighting for breath in an ICU. Somebody is sick with something. It's like every day, non-stop madness. And we do have an uptick of crime in a lot of major cities. We also have an uptick of crime in smaller cities and towns. We have a lot of people who are mentally disturbed. We have a lot of people who are greedy and facetious in nature. We have a lot of ill-will psychopaths and sociopaths walking amongst us. So much devastation amongst us, just tragic. Yes, it is. I feel sorry for these people. And like I told you all in my first video pertaining to the decedents, now somebody has to come up with money to bury all these people. Somebody has to come up with money to bury an entire family. And that one younger brother who he shot and he got away, and by the grace of God was able to get to the hospital, now has no mother and father because his own brother killed them and attempted to kill him. Where was it you were trying to go, young man, that was so important that you felt like you've got to murder everybody in your damn house? I'm baffled. You've got what? COVID fever? Is it because your parents didn't want you going out because of COVID? Or is it because you haven't been minding? Or is it because it's just the rules of their house? They didn't want you leaving. So you decided to gun them down. And then we have to ask ourselves the one question. Where the hell did he get the gun from? Prayers for that teen boy. I can't even imagine being the one making it out alive after seeing something. Yes, how do you even live with that? That's the thing. You now will have nightmares of watching your family gunned down, running for your life and being shot at, and by the grace of God, got to safety to get help. Because obviously he's the one that was able to get the police back to the house to try to save the girl who was there, the 19-year-old who was there, who's pregnant. So here you are trying to hold on to life and get the ambulance service back to your home to try to preserve life of the other people at the house. And that young lady died at the hospital with her unborn child. And who even knows who she is? $17 years old. We're not even talking about an adult yet. Snuffed out his family. You're 17 years old, and because you can't have your way, you kill everybody in your house because daddy says you can't go outside. So that leads me to wonder what type of child he was beforehand. Was he mild-mannered? Was he in a situation that he felt that was unfair to him? What was it? Was it just this one day you wanted to be out in the world and your parents said no? Have you been a problem to your parents, for your parents? Has he been in trouble with the law before? In school? So you ask all those things now because you're curious now to what type of child was he that could just go ham like that? Was he a problem child who on this fateful day decide, I'm going to kill everybody in this damn house because I want out of here. I got somewhere I got to go, somewhere I got to be. So I'm going to snuff out everybody. Oh, they're going to try him as an adult. Indiana not playing with him. Possibly so, yes. Yes. And he knows better. Right, where did he get the gun? And that's the next question. And the mayor, all of them talked about that in the previous article I brought you Sunday, that, hey, we want to try to find out where the gun came from, who brought the gun to the scene. Because when the story first broke, that's what the commentary was. Where did the people get the gun from? Well, now you see it's the brother. And yeah, where did he get the gun? Who did he buy the gun from? Because here now we're talking about a 17-year-old carrying a gun illegally, had it in the home, obviously, and then killed these people. Spoiled and didn't get his way, possibly. Right. You know, and some people may say, well, maybe he was mistreated. Maybe he didn't have great parents. Maybe, you know, people are going to wonder all kind of things when it comes to these stories. What if, what if, what if? We don't know. But I could say, why didn't you just run out the damn house? You didn't have to kill him. I think we as parents give kids everything and let them have their own way. Put feet down, they can't handle it. Probably already had mental problems. Well, he had to have something going on, because to gun down your family because your father didn't want you to get out of the house, go, and he told you, well, you're going to get in trouble if you leave. So I guess he said, well, okay, I'm just going to thank you guys. Sorry. Oh, thank you. Thanks for the ring. My stretchy band ring. Thank you so much. I'm not going to try to hold you all long because I've already been on here earlier with the crazy story out of Florida. But I want to just go ahead and go live with this one. This is crazy to me, to be talking about a child killing an entire family. Because 17 years of age, he is still considered a minor. But he has the mindset to know better, because the fact that he had a gun means he knows what he's doing. And he didn't have no business having a gun. And I wondered, did the parents even know he had a gun? And right, did he have mental problems? Been in trouble before with the law, school, combative, bad attitude, been walking out the house, sneaking out? What has he been doing? Because this is shameful. Because when the story first broke, people probably thinking, oh my God, what happened? Who did this? You know, your mind starts to wonder. Who did this? Who went in this house? Was it more than one person? Is this vendetta against one person in the family, drug related? You know, you just think of all the crazy things you can come up in your head. And then you find out It's one of their own damn kids. Somebody, the lady, she gave birth to him, raised him, and he is almost a legal adult. And now he has forfeited his own life and freedom to murder his entire family. How come some of the family didn't hear the gunshots? Tina, please, honey, I don't know anything. One child got away. That's all I know. And that is the person who led the authorities' ambulance back to the house, to where they went in, saw the decedents, and then rushed the 19-year-old girl out of there who was pregnant, who later died at the hospital. Probably pent up teen angst and anger and took it way too far. He deserves to be tried as an adult. You don't kill, excuse me, you don't kill people when you don't get your way. You just don't. People are sick. Yeah, but we've seen lots of cases of young people murdering their families. I have noticed that over the years with a lot of Caucasian children murdering their parents, grandparents, because they didn't want them dating a certain person. The girl didn't. She got mad because we had a case back in Knoxville years ago where a young girl in Knox County had her boyfriend kill her parents. And people were very disturbed by that case, because no one could understand how she could stoop that low to have him orchestrate a killing, kill her parents because they didn't want her dating him. And so you have a lot of cases where children murder their parents and their guardians because they don't like the rules and regulations of the house. And then you also have the flip side of they've been mistreated by their guardians and parents. They did. He started upstairs and one was screaming he killed someone. Okay. Well, nonetheless, however it went down in the house, it's still horrific. Because, somebody had made a comment on my comment box about this is why you carry a gun. Why should somebody have a gun in their house to fend off their own family member? You would keep a gun, if you can get to it, to ward off an outsider, not somebody in your house. And the thing about this type of rage killing, you don't see it coming. You don't expect it to come. Who the hell thought they was going to get gunned down in their own house because somebody's mad about not being able to go outside? You thought they were sitting around saying, he getting ready to go get a gun and shoot us. Who thought that? It seems like a lot of child family killers are around 15 and 17 and are out and are put on more adult responsibility since they bail them college so long. People think it's unfair. I don't know what I'm reading. Hold on. That was a long statement. Hold on one second. And are put on more adult responsibility since they coddled so long, they probably feel like it's unfair. Well, like I said, I don't know what went on in his house. But as a child, as a woman who's been a child, you don't choose your parents. You don't choose the people who raise you. And naturally, you're going to have issues sometimes with your parents. And it can go both ways on who's abusing whom, who's doing whatever. You understand what I'm saying? But still, a lot of us had strict parents, strict guardians, and we followed the rules and we obeyed the rules. We may have mumbled under our breath, said some things, but we didn't act out. We didn't abuse our parents. We didn't touch our parents. We didn't curse our parents. So some of these young people don't understand what it's like to really be in a house that's strict. You have people who live in very strict households. Their parents are highly religious, highly political, highly everything, and they walk a fine line, and they don't walk outside the line. What they do is when they turn 18, they get them some air, and they rarely come back home. They rarely come back home. Do you understand what I'm saying? They don't kill their family. And you've got young people who are severely abused by their family. This was Sunday morning. You have young people who are abused by their family, physically and mentally abused, sexually abused, and they don't kill their family members. Do you understand what I'm saying? Hi, baby. So this is cold. This 17-year-old is cold as ice to kill his entire family and then killed this girl who they're stating in this article, she's not even a child of the parents. So now we got to figure out, like I said, who is she? Was she a relative, another relative, or was she dating one of the other children in the house, the 18-year-old? Because there was an 18-year-old brother who was gunned down. Perhaps she was dating the 18-year-old. I don't know. I don't know who she is, but she wasn't a child of the family, of the parents who were, who were murdered. She just happened to be in this house of horrors where now this mess popped off. There are no words right now to describe. Sorry, my plant's in the way. No words to describe what took place early Sunday morning. He needs his ass beat. Excuse my language. See, he needs that type of whooping I got growing up. Yeah, Queen gonna keep it 100. And I don't believe in whooping children that are older because I feel like once you get to a certain age, how you doing, quiet moments? You shouldn't have to whoop a child, spank, whatever word you like to use. I don't feel like you should have to use corporal punishment on some children once they get to a certain age because they should know better. This is the stage when you should be saying, well, you can't go outside. You can't use the computer, your phone. You can't go over here. You can't go on this day trip. You understand what I'm saying? I just feel like when they get to a certain age, they shouldn't need to be spanked, whooped. They should know better. Because it can get out of control. You trying to whoop somebody that's the size of you, if you get my drift. Especially if your child decides to turn on you. Now you're fighting your child because it can go down that way. And that's why I said, who knows what was really going on in this house with this kid, his attitude, his disposition. I mean, what did he have really strict parents? What was going on? Or was he just a combative kid that said, the hell what I do, the hell I want. I've been doing what I want, and I'm going out of here tonight, whether you like it or not. As a matter of fact, I'm going to shoot you on my way out. Ain't no words. Ain't no words. Very sad, yes. I'm not going to hold you all long, but I wanted to bring you that update out of Indianapolis, Indiana. You can Google the story. I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of hoopla and he said, she said pertaining to what went on in that house in Indianapolis, who did what to whom, because, you always get the 411, 211. They're after a horrific story. There will always be some stuff said. They were close in age and he felt grown and wanted to do him, and now it's costing him his life. Yes, Cynthia, but he made that faithful choice to shoot his family because, like I said, you're going to have to obey the rules in life. You're going to have to listen to somebody tell you what to do. You're just not going to do what you want to do. And like I said, many of us have grown up in very strict households. Some people had lax parents, some didn't. Some had rules, but still let you have freedom. But the point is, if your parents said they didn't want you to lead, and that's what they meant. That's what he meant. And you don't defy your parents to do what the hell you want to do. Because if I'm not mistaken, this shooting took place in I thought it was the AM. It was like early Sunday morning. So who the hell is up arguing about somebody coming and going? Unless you've been coming in and out as you please. Sneaking in and out as you please. And you and your father had words. And you decided to say, all right, I'm going to do you one better. I'm going to pump one in you and pump one in everybody in the whole house. Well, guess what now? You get to go play with the big dogs now, homeboy. You get to go play with the big dogs till death. And you get to sit in that damn jail till trial. And then get you a guilty verdict. And you'll be a legal adult then. And then you'll get sent off to penitentiary with the big dogs. And you'll have time to sit and think about why you should have listened to your father and mother. And realize you could have chosen a better path and made a better decision than kill your entire family. And you killed that other young lady who didn't have a dog in a race, and she had a small child in her stomach. And you see, as you say, you're right, Star. Life is a lottery. Marriage, friendship, relationships. You don't never know when people are going to turn on you. Hi, Pretty K. You don't know when someone's going to turn on you. And just like the last video I brought you about the situation in Florida with the two men, you don't know people. So imagine that situation is two strangers meeting up on a date site and one ends up dead. Now in this situation, you have a child who's 17 grow up in the house with these people all his life, assumingly, and he turns the gun on everybody in the damn house for visitation. Yeah, well, who's going to visit him? Why would I visit you? You done killed everybody in your house. I'm sure down the road he'll get a pen pal along the way. That'll be his only outside correspondence, is with a little cutie pie that decides to take up with an inmate who just gunned down his entire damn family. And why would any woman want to talk to a man who just killed all of his family members? But there will be somebody, because it always is. But the sad thing is, maybe not sad, just depends on your perception. You can't even ask for parole because you took so many lives. Who's going to give you parole after you killed all those people? Because what a judge has to say to himself, not a judge, but a parole board, those members would have to say, if we decided to let him do so many years in penitentiary, will he have the capabilities to cope out here when things don't go his way? Will we be looking at a repeat 40 years later? He gets paroled out. Things don't go well. Looking for a place to stay, a job. You see where I'm going? And you have flashbacks to what happened in Indianapolis so many moons ago. And you decide to go ham again. Oh, the brother's girlfriend. Okay, I figured that's what it was. Probably the girlfriend's. The brother's girlfriend. That's what I was assuming. I don't know. The article didn't tell all that. So, see, y'all bring me other information, stuff that's not in the article, that I brought. They didn't have that information. But nonetheless, it would be shameful for any parole board to let that thing go back out to the street. And a lot of people have argued this point about young people who commit crimes, giving them a second chance, letting them redeem themselves, and putting them back on the street amongst civilians. But what you have to ask yourself, Halakita, are you sure you know what you're doing? Because I don't care how you word it. He's 17, 16. You've killed a whole house full of people. And you're near an adult, so you knew better. Do you really want this person walking around at least 30, 40 years from now back on the street amongst people to see if he would snap again? Because how do you reform a human being who would kill an entire house? It's not a crime of passion. I'm obsessed with you. You're obsessed with me. We can't live without each other. Oh, I don't know what I'm going to do without him. So I go kill him. Kill his girlfriend, wife, whatever. See where I'm going? You had an issue with your father. Why didn't you just shoot your father? Not that it's right, but you understand what I'm saying. Why didn't you just shoot your father? You killed the whole damn house. 85% of the time, I don't think no family member will accept him. Well, the point still remains. So a lot of people come out worse than they went in, of course. And that's my point. He's going in as a puppy inside of the system. Hey, girl, butt at the door. Okay. You going in there as a puppy. God forbid what they're going to do to you when you get in there. Your mind will be warped. Your body will be warped. You will probably grow very hard and worse than you were before you arrived in there. And let's say the state decides to be kind and parole him. Who's to say he doesn't do it a damn again? That's my fear. Is that somebody in that state will rally and fight. He was just a baby. He was just a kid. Give him a chance. Give him a chance. And you got to remember, that's the same person who didn't want nobody telling them nothing. So this is the irony of people like this. And I'm going to check out of here. You hooped and hollered that you wanted to do what you wanted to do and not mind your father, mother, whomever. You shot all these people. Now you in jail, detention center, rather, for juveniles. You ended up worse off than living with your father, who wanted you to stay your ass in the house. Do you understand what I'm saying? So the same life you thought was so great out here, to go out and defy your parents, to get to the street, whatever the hell it was you were trying to do. You mad at your father, mad at whatever the hell's going on in your household, because I do not know what type of life he had. But what you forfeit, that you thought was so horrible, now is a detention center that's going to hold you until you're legally grown and they transfer you to a penitentiary for adult men. So the life you thought was so terrible has been now swapped for a jail cell. So what did you gain? I want to thank you all for joining me. If you'd like to donate to the channel, please Cash App $ Big Angie 129. I thank you all for listening and joining me. We're in dire need right now of prayer, because there are some sick people out here, and we have sick children out here. We have sick teenagers out here. We have sick adults out here. And every day, I can bring you a story of a sick person harming another person. And it is just out of control. And I don't see no end in sight. And whether you want to blame it on COVID, people cooped up in the house, they're angry, this and that, they want to get out, they want to do this. We are messed up. And we were, frankly, messed up before COVID. All the way messed up. Prayers to this family and the community of Indianapolis. Prayers that all these people get a proper burial. Prayers for the young man who survived, because he's going to need them now. Because now he has to go out into the world with no parents. And the knowledge that his brother tried to kill him in cold blood. And that's a terrible thing to have to wake up to and go to sleep to. And I can tell you, I can't even imagine what he sees and hears waking up and going to sleep. I can't even imagine. I'm sure he doesn't even like to close his eyes, because he can't be in a good state right now. And his dreams would have to be horrific. I feel very sorry for this young man. And I think everybody needs to pray for him, because he's going to need a lot of guidance. He's going to need a lot of counseling, because he is in a terrible place right now. And right now that city has a burden, because somebody has to bury all these people. While the taxpayers get to pay for the new friend in the juvenile detention center. Thank you. Like, share, subscribe, drop your comments below. Thank you for joining me. God bless. I love you. Thank you for your support, my new subscribers. You have put a queen at almost 5,000. I'm at 5,000 subscribers. Damn near. I want to thank all of you. God bless all of you. I will bring you more information pertaining to the story when I get an update. And I may jump back on a little bit later. If not, I will see you later in the week. This is Everyday Shenanigans. Have a good evening.